Don't visit any website until you've watched this video. Hackers can take over your devices like your phones and your computers through many ways. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate some ways that hackers penetrate into your devices using websites. The website you are about to visit right now can get your device, such as your phone. It doesn't matter whether it's iPhone or Android or whatever phone that you are using. This website you are about to visit can get your device compromised. So make sure you watch this video to the end. There is this tool called BlackSnow, which was developed by Matrix CyberLabs. Okay, and this tool tend to leverage APIs inside various browsers and takes advantage of web programming languages like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to execute payloads or attacks on the victims. So we are going to get into this tool, but before, what is BlackSnow? So the history, a little history of BlackSnow. BlackSnow was developed inside CyberLabs. Most devices like phones, computers, tablets use web browsers, and any device that uses a web browser is vulnerable to this tool. This tool can be used to attack any device that runs a web browser. So it's as simple as just injecting a line of code into your traffic, and that's it. The hacker gains control over your device, and this is also going to reveal why it's actually unsafe to join public Wi-Fi's like cafe Wi-Fi's, coffee shop Wi-Fi's, and so on. So without wasting time, I'll be getting into BlackSnow, which is much better than Beef, because Beef has this UI which is outdated and a lot of things that are actually also lacking on the side of the attacker. So we took our time to create BlackSnow in order to give you the full featured list of whatever a hacker might want to attack a victim. And please take this seriously, that whatever we do in this video, whatever we're showing in this video, whatever we are saying here is for educational purpose only. And the creator of the tool or the maker of this video is not responsible for any misuse of the software or the tool or the knowledge gained in this video. So without wasting time, let's get on into the labs and let's look at how BlackSnow can be used to hack your smartphone or gain control over your devices. Let's move in. Okay, so now we are inside BlackSnow, and all you have to do to start BlackSnow is to type Python 3 blacksnow.py to start the server. Now checking the status of the server, we can see that the server is offline. So all you have to do is to inject the script we find here into the victim's browser, and attackers actually know how to do this very easily. Okay, to inject a script like this into a victim's browser is something that is very simple for an attacker to do, and you as a victim, you do not have to do anything. There is nothing you have to do. Zero effort, zero click. You don't have to do anything. Most of the times it's actually even simple when you're on the same network with the victim. Okay, that is why it is unsafe. It's unsafe to join a public Wi-Fi, such as university Wi-Fi, coffee shop Wi-Fi, and a lot. It's actually unsafe to join these Wi-Fi's. Public Wi-Fi's, I will never advise you to join. So after you've injected this, all you have to do is start BlackSnow. Just type start, and one thing I love to do is to start the server in stealth mode. Okay, most of the time, if you want verbosity, then you can actually leave the server window open. Just as you can see, we can see that there is a new browser connected with ID 1. I don't know which device this is, whether it's my phone or it's my computer, but we will soon find out. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop it and I'm going to start it again, but this time I'm going to add a switch, an optional switch S, which will start the server in stealth mode. So now it started in stealth mode, and what I want to do right now is to type help to see the commands that we have at our disposal. And one thing you should also know is that I have two devices, a smartphone and a computer connected to the network. So this, as you can see here, is my smartphone. As you can see, ITLS 13 on the right side of the screen, on top of my webcam. You can see I also have a computer connected to the same network. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show some modules that are available inside BlackSnow. So type in show modules, and now that I typed show modules, I have a list of modules here. So cool. These modules makes the tool very slick to use. And we have exploit, we also have generic, we have geolocations, that is IP locations and GPS locations as well. We have scanners, and we have social engineering tools or modules as well. So as I said earlier in this video, some of these modules requires you to be on HTTPS in order to function effectively. The way that BlackSnow has been composed makes it so super duper in a way that it's so easy for anyone at all to use once you lay your hands on it. So now what I'm going to do right now is, what do we call it? Now that I know some modules to use, let's see the sessions we have. And we can see that we have one session which tells me that it's a mobile device, which is this lets me know that it's actually my smartphone. So let me refresh my computer's browser, and let's see what comes in from there as well. So here we go. And okay, so now that I have refreshed my computer's browser, let's see if we have other devices as well. Type it again, and now we have two devices. So we can see that this one is a mobile device and it's running Chrome version 138, and this one Chrome 148. Optionally, I can forget these things and actually copy this header, okay, this browser header, and then use online tools or other tools that I have inside my distro to find out which exact browser this is. Okay, so now that we have hooked two browsers, let's look at some of the modules we have. So we have social engineering tools as well as exploit tool, generic tool, scanning tools, and all of that. So scanners, it says scans for access to audio inputs, and then camera also scans for camera permission statuses. And yes, this is very, very, very slick in a way that it doesn't let you touch the victim directly. It provides you with scanners which you can use to scan your victim, for permissions, okay, which you can use to actually see if in the first place your victim's device has camera access, or if your victim's device has microphone access. And if your victim device doesn't have a microphone access or camera access, you can trigger that using BlackSnow. So this is very, very, very effective, and actually, as I said earlier, very slick, because it gives you every tool for you to execute your attack step by step. And by the way, there is another tool that works similar to BlackSnow. If you can recall, those of you using Debian systems or Kali Linux, you know that Beef is one of a known tool or a professional tool that can be used for similar attacks. But one thing about Beef's modules are outdated and are not modern. Okay, so BlackSnow tend to have an upper hand on Beef when it comes to browser exploitation, because BlackSnow's interfaces, the UI is very, very modern and as we will get to know, very, very nice. Okay, it doesn't appear to be fishy, or it doesn't appear to be suspecting. Okay, you will see as we move on. So let's start with some scanners. Let's execute one scanner. So let's say let's scan for microphone. So I'll copy this and I'll say use, and then let's show some options here. So I'm going to set my session. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set the session number. And if you don't know which session that you are on, you can actually use sessions.l to know the session IDs that we have right here. So I'm going to set the session to, what do we call it, 1. And okay, so looking at this now, the session number has been set, and this value, as you can see, is optional. I can leave it as it is. So all I have to do is to type run, and it scans and says microphone access denied by user already. So once the user has already denied microphone access, this tells me that I shouldn't be running microphone exploit. If I am to run my microphone exploit, I have to take the victim through series of deception, okay, using BlackSnow. And before I can run any attempt, or I can attempt to access the user's microphone, I have to gain the victim's, the user's trust, and I can use BlackSnow for that. So we have scanning modules that you can use, a lot of scanning modules. You can try these modules if you get your hands on this. But one thing that I want you to see is the generic modules that we have here. So exploit, record audio. This record audio using the user's mic. And yes, it works. I have tested it over HTTPS and it works perfectly. Using just the user's browser, you can actually record audio, or even capture videos, or get snapshots. As you can see right here, get snapshots, which is available, takes a picture or photo using the user's available cameras. That is, it says user or environment as values for front and back cameras respectively. Okay, so you can do this, but these modules requires you to be on HTTPS before you can use them. Okay, you need to be on a secure line before you can use them. When you are exploiting, or when the victim is on a Windows computer or a computer, you can also disable the keyboards, or enable the keyboards, or enable the mouse, or disable the mouse, and a lot. Okay, so let's look at something that you can actually do. So let's look at the generic alert, and this sends an alert box on the user's screen. Okay, so let's use this show options, and let me set the session to 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type run, and when I type run, you can see on my smartphone that it says null. Null because I didn't set a value. You can see that the value here is null, so that is what will be displayed inside the alert box. So I'm going to click OK right here, and now I'm going to set a value to welcome to news 24, and run this again, and we can see that now it says welcome to news 24. And this is not so amazing with the alerts. It's so simple, but when we get into social engineering part of this video, that is where everything gets interesting, where we have the Facebook exploit, the Twitter exploit, X exploit, TikTok exploit, Instagram exploit, Snapchat exploit, and a whole ton, Gmail, Yahoo, and a whole lot of exploit that we have in the social engineering modules. So one thing that BlackSnow actually does best is to drive your victim through series of attacks, okay, or through series of executions. So let's say maybe someone uh, visits this website and it's a news website. Okay, so let's take this as an example. What I'm going to do as an attacker is I'm going to look through the modules. So show modules. And one thing that I would love to do is to ask the user a question. Okay, I want to ask the user a question, and this question is going to return a yes or no. So I'm going to copy this, which is I'm going to use the module. Alternatively, you can actually type this manually. So I'm going to use social, and you can press tab in order to complete this social engineering, and I'm going to type question. And the way this works is, let's look at the options that we have under the question module. So show options, and session says none. I will add session 1. So set session to 1. And now that I have set my session to 1, I'm going to set a value. And this value is the question that is going to be displayed to my user. So once my victim visits this website, I will ask the user, do you want to earn money reading news or reading from News 24? So I'm going to say News 24 website. So we can see that the value has been set to, do you want to earn money reading from News 24 website? And this is a question that I am asking. You see, so what I'm trying to do here, if you get the entire scenario, what I'm trying to do here is to take my victim through a series of deception, or through a series of exploits or executions to actually gain the victim's trust. Okay, it's like a spear. I am driving the victim through a series of attacks in order to know what he's thinking or what he wants, so that I can actually execute my final payload. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type run. And when I type run, you see a question has been displayed on the screen. It says, do you want to earn money reading from News 24? And I'm waiting for this user or my victim to actually click on an option. So let's say the user says yes, because of course we all want money. So it says yes, and looking at the terminal, it says the result is yes. So now I know that my victim is interested in what do we call it, getting money from News 24 or from the website. And this depends. It depends on the website that is serving your hook. Okay, it depends on the website that the victim is actually reading or visiting. You can deploy your attack accordingly. So now that I know my victim actually loves this, what I'm going to do is I'm looking through this, and one payload, one module I would like to execute next is to ask my victim that does he want to maybe does he like to sign in, or maybe I will ask my victim, maybe I want to take over their Facebook account, or maybe their Google account, or whatever. So one thing I'm going to do is, if you want, let's say maybe you want to ask the victim to or you want to capture, you want to take control over the camera and capture photos and even videos, or take over the microphone, you can ask the victim, okay, then if you want to earn money, then we have to do a facial recognition of you, and ask the victim, does he agree? Whether he gives you a yes or no will let you know how to execute your next payload or your next module. So if he says yes, then you can actually execute the exploit right up here. Let me show you. Get snapshot. And what this does is, first of all, it first gets permission from the user. It asks the permission that I want to access your camera. When the user clicks yes, boom. And after that, you can also ask for permissions for GPS. And so if you want, you see, BlackSnow is very slick in a way that it can be used for a lot of purposes, like tracking, even GPS tracking, okay, or location tracking. It's all possible. As you can see, we have geolocation or IP modules right here. So where was I? Of course, BlackSnow has a lot of things. So when you talk about this and you move to the next, you become stuck unless you come back. So let's move on. Now that I asked my victim that if he wants to earn money, he says yes. So what I'm going to do next is, would you like to log in to start earning? So I'm going to ask another question again. So this time, I think I already have it loaded. Questions, yes. So let me see. Let me show the options I have. And I'm going to ask a question. So set value. Do you want to log in now to start your earning process? Did I run this? So looking at it, it's going to pop up. So do you want to log in now to start your earning process? Or I'll happily say, yes, I actually want to log in now. Take me through the process in order to earn from this website. I'll be happy to earn money daily. And this question, as you see, can be customized from the terminal in order to actually convince your target. So now that I have this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on yes. And you can see that the result I had from the terminal is yes. Now that I know that my victim wants to log in or is ready to log in, now I am going to decide either to use the Facebook phishing page for my victim or whichever. So let's try Facebook, for instance, and after that we are going to try other login modules that we have for you to know how it works. Maybe I want to hack the TikTok account of the user. Then I'm going to use the TikTok module, which is very, very, very simple. So one thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to first run the Facebook module or the Facebook exploit right now. So let me look through this, and I think I found it right here, social engineering Facebook. So I'm going to say use social engineering Facebook and hit enter. So show options. So it says session. So I'm going to set the session to 1, and that is the session for my device, my phone. And let's say now I have to set a value, which is the session expired text we have here. And one thing about the value is you have to make the value follow the sequence of deception or the series of executions that you've taken your victims through. So first of all, I asked the victim that do they want to earn money? He said yes. Do they want to start logging in to start the earning process? Yes. Meaning my victim is fully prepared to log in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the value to something like So you see that I have set my value to log into Facebook to start earning on News 24. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hit run. And when I hit run, you see that this page has been displayed on the user's phone. It says login with Facebook to start earning on News 24. And it looks so legit. This is what I love about BlackSnow, okay? BlackSnow looks so modern. It is updated regularly, and trust me, it's crazy. It's crazy. So Now that the user has this, he will be very happy to log in so as to start earning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe enter a phone number, maybe, sorry, uh, okay, so suppose this is my phone number and I'm going to enter my password, which is, for this demonstration, I'm just going to use password. Okay, so type just password. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click on login. And when I click on login, you see that it takes a second for, let me just move my mouse somewhere. It takes a second for the whole phishing page to get off the screen. And you see that one thing you will notice is looking at the terminal right here, there is a result. And it gives me the username and the password that was entered. This is how so easy it is. And we can use other attacks as well. So now that I have the user's Facebook account and password, I can actually try to do something else. Maybe look for the prompt, uh, and say, what do we call it? Alert. Okay, so let me use generic alert. After the user has signed in, I don't want to create any suspicion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say use generic alert and then hit enter. So the available options we have here, my session is 1. So I will say set value to successfully. So now having this, I will say run. And before I execute it, look at the value that I set. It says your registration process has started successfully. You will receive options to proceed in few seconds. Please stay on the page. And this makes the user stay alert on the page. So when I run this module, you can see that it's already says that 192.168.0.153 says your registration process has started successfully. You will receive options to proceed in few seconds. Please stay on the page. So if I were using a live server or an online platform, the IP address, which is 192.168 blah 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 on top, will be that of the website that I am using or my user has actually visited. So I'm going to click OK to just get this thing off from the screen. And now that the user is fully aware, fully alert, waiting for the next thing that pops up, what do you think I'm going to do? We now have his Facebook usernames or password. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask the user for mode of payment. So I'm going to look through the available modules that we have here, and I'm going to make use of this, the sell opt. So I'm going to use this one and show the options that we have at our disposal. And what I'm going to do is set session to 1 and then set a value, set value to select mode of payment. So my value has been set, and the options, I will say set options to bank transfer, PayPal, Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin. And if you have other modes of payment, you can add them and then set this as the options and then now run it. So when I run it, you see it says select mode of payment, and the user can browse through these options and then select one. Maybe I want PayPal. Okay, so I want PayPal, or maybe I want Bitcoin. So if the user selects PayPal and clicks continue, now it says the choice. I get it here that the choice from my victim's end is PayPal. So now that my victim has chosen PayPal, I have the opportunity right now to get into his PayPal account as well. So we have a PayPal module right here. So I'm going to say use PayPal. So show options and then set session to 1 and then value, set value rather, sorry, my bad, set value okay, so you can be much more skillful if you plan your attacks well. You can think of phrases, login messages. You can think of sentences that will be really enticing to your user. So now that I have this, I just have to click run, and then it says now I should log into my PayPal. So log into PayPal to set it as your default payment method. So if my victim had chosen Bitcoin, then maybe I will find out the Bitcoin platform that my victim was using, maybe Coinbase, maybe blockchain. Then I will execute the payload for maybe Coinbase or blockchain to get that as well. And so now I have to enter my email. So my bad, I'll do this. I'll click on next, and it asks me to enter my password. So I'm going to enter any random characters as well. And now we have the continue button. And when I click on the continue button, it disappears. But notice in the terminal that now I have the username and a password for my blockchain. Okay, so for the PayPal for the user. So you can take the user through series of executions. So it's the way you plan your attack, okay, using BlackSnow. BlackSnow can give you 100% success with your pen testing careers or works. So now that I've been able to do this, let me take you through some social engineering modules. BlackSnow already has a lot, and I can't go through everything here. You can test them yourself to know how they work. And let's say maybe I want to get the victims, what do we call it, Snapchat, or let's say Instagram logins. So I'm going to use social engineering, Instagram, show options, set the session to 1, and then set a value. Session expired. When I run this, you can see that already now Instagram has popped up on my user's phone, and it says please log in, session expired. So depending on the message that you are going to deliver to your user, whether they are going to fall on it or they are going to fall for it or not depends on the message that you send and how swift or how deceptive you can be. So I'm going to type a username, anything, maybe user1, and I'm going to type a password as well, maybe anything, and click on login. So when I click on login, and now you can see that it disappears. But one thing is I have the result inside my terminal. So we also have different social engineering tools like maybe X, Yahoo. We even have Coinbase blockchain and web plugin. This displays a plugin required message to the user. And after that, the file download also lets you save a file to the user. Maybe you have a payload, a crafted payload, or a malicious file that you want the user to download. You can use BlackSnow's F-download module to save this file to the user for the user to download and view it. In other words, which will also grant you a shell or a session elsewhere, whether in Metasploit or whether in whatever that you are going to use. You can even use Netcat for this. So let's try another one. Maybe this time I'm going to try which one should I try? I'm going to try TikTok. Okay, so social engineering, TikTok. Okay, so I'm not going to set anything for the value. I'm just going to leave it the same. And of course, you can actually set it to anything you want. You know already. So now that I have set my sessions, let's see if everything is intact. Show options, everything is intact. And what I would like to do is just type run, and you can see that it says session expired. So for TikTok, and just log into your TikTok, whatever. So you just enter your username, maybe say and you enter a password and you just click on login. You just click on login and that's it. And I have the credentials at my side. So using BlackSnow, you can drive your victim through a series of executions that will never let you fail. So we have this with get pin. We have pay with card that you can even use to fish out credit cards. Let's see how this one works. So pay with card. So set a session. And you can set the value. This is the amount to pay. So set value maybe $100. So these are the options that I have right now, and I'm going to run this. And you can see that it pops up on my screen to pay. It says $20, right? So okay, so it says pay $20, and my bad, the card information is required. So all I have to do is to enter the card number, enter the card expiration date, the CVV, and the name on the card as well. So it's really slick and very good to use. So let's look at other modules that you can actually execute using BlackSnow. So as you can see already, we have geolocation. This stands for geolocation permissions, whether the browser has permission to access your location, the phone's location. If it doesn't, you know how to drive your victim through a series of execution in order to gain trust. So we have generic, confirm, screen dimensions, which can also get the screen. Okay, so I never entered Sorry, my bad, I never entered values for this. So anyway, you can just enter anything for the card number, and you can even enter the expiration date, maybe card holder name, maybe Derek, and then you can set a country, maybe, sorry, my bad, Netherlands. It's cool. So click on pay, and you can see that result. You say card number is this, the expiration date, the CVV, we have the holder, and even the country right here. So let's look at the screen dimensions. So show options and set a session to work, and then type run in order to gain my screen dimension. So you can even get the screen dimension of the device that is being used by your victim. So BlackSnow has a lot. We cannot go through every module inside BlackSnow. You're supposed to try it yourself and know the functions of BlackSnow. So this is how attackers can actually compromise your device using just your browser. So you see how easy it is for an attacker to compromise your device just by using a web link. You visit a website, and trust me, it can be any website, either a news website, either a social media website, whatever. Anything that runs inside a browser is vulnerable to this attack. All the attacker must do is to find a single vulnerability in a third-party site to execute this attack. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you share the video and like it. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the full videos of the whole series. Thank you very much.